the ocean is indeed in serious decline, I think. And we at the Economist Group have been worried about that for many years. We started our World Ocean Summit in 2012. We had one of our most enjoyable and fruitful World Ocean Summits in Portugal, in Lisbon, in 2015, and indeed next year. In 2023, Minister, nice to see you. We will be having a further World Ocean Summit in Lisbon and look forward very much to that. And I want to commend also Ruben and his team for organizing this. Thank you, Ruben, for being a lifelong reader of The Economist. I've really, so good to hear that. Thank you so much. Our summit is fundamentally about sustainability. It's about how we move the global community towards building and, in particular, transitioning towards a more sustainable ocean economy, because a lot of it is about a transition. And indeed, we know the three major anthropogenic challenges facing the ocean: climate change impacts, biodiversity loss, Peter talked about those, and indeed pollution. We've done a big report recently on chemical pollution in the ocean as another factor that fundamentally alters the way and the chemistry and the structure of the ocean. But I think also one particular area that we don't look at very much is this question of the further industrialization of the ocean. And that cumulative impact of human activities beyond the anthropogenic challenges that we already face, that add to the stresses that the ocean faces. And it's that sort of transition that we want to discuss, debate, and think about at the World Ocean Summit. And so in many ways, that's why it's both an honor and a real opportunity and a matter of considerable interest for me to be here today to listen to this and to moderate, hopefully, an interesting panel discussion on the Selvagen Islands, the Savage Islands, as they're called in English, and why we all need to know more about them. In fact, Peter and I were discussing in the car the fact that perhaps until this moment we hadn't really known very much about the Selvagen Islands, and now we have this great opportunity to do that. And not just why we need to know about this small and uninhabited set of islands, 280 kilometers away from here, and the largest MPA in the North Atlantic, but also how this MPA came to be, and how, particularly, as Ruben said right at the very beginning, how we utilize, how we bring market-based mechanisms and finance to sustaining this MPA, ensuring that this MPA works, and ensuring that it can provide the fullest protection that it's meant to provide. And so that's why we have, I hope, a very interesting panel. We have 9 panelists, a large number of panelists today, so we have 9 panelists, and we're going to hear from them really some, I hope, extraordinary, and I know extraordinary ideas and practical work that they are doing at this moment to discover and unlock some of these market-based mechanisms and financing for MPAs, and indeed not just for MPAs, because these matter also for the rest of the ocean too, but MPAs being a particularly important part of the discussion today. So we have 6 presentations, and I'm going to introduce very briefly each of those presenters. They're going to come up and make their presentation, and then there will be 3 other panelists who will join us on stage afterwards, and we'll then listen to what they have to say and then go into a discussion. We've got an hour and a half to 2 hours to do this. I hope we can get through all of that. So let me start straight away by introducing our first speaker, who is Paulo Oliveira. Paulo Oliveira is a board member of the Instituto das Florestas. This is going to my appalling Portuguese, sorry, e Conservação da Natureza, the IFCN. So, Paulo, could I ask you to come up and make your first speech?